Hey guys, Joel's coming at you with another reasoning session, and today I'm going to be talking about the parallel in our own time that's going on in regards to eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and how this threatens us re-entering the Garden of Eden at this time.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
Now, if you like these videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can get more content just like this. And give this video a thumbs up because it definitely helps with the algorithm spread this message. But irregardless of YouTube playing games with shadow banning and dropping subscribers and all that stuff, this message is still getting out there, finding the people that are ready for it. So you can also check me out on Rumble or on Zapit. The links are down in the description. But with that out of the way, I'm just going to jump right into it. And I want to point out that the parallel that we're going through in society, like if society was just one person, or rather like, I guess 2 people, they would be Adam and Eve, and right at the time when they're eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, I talk about how the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is what keeps us down here in this physical dimension, and it gives us that illusion between choosing something that's either good or bad. And it's only in our egotistic perspective that we determine something, whether it's beneficial or harmful. But really, all things emanating from source are perfect. And if we harmonize with that fundamental truth, then the perspective of either good or bad falls to the physical realm, and we actually transcend that perspective of good versus bad, and we move into the perspective where all things are made perfect. But where this problem really all begins is when the serpent tempts Eve in the garden. And we read in the 4th verse of the 3rd chapter of Bere'shit, "And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die, for Elohim does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil." And this parallels with what we're seeing in our world today. We're hearing this word woke going around a lot of places. And this is literally a usurpation of the awakening. It's not the true awakening, but it's the media and these certain group of people that have jumped on and started marketing their own kind of awakening. But this is really the serpent talking to humanity at this time and selling the same exact story. And what's that story? It's that you can find a way away from Elohim, away from source, and where you can do it yourself. And you know, there have been people pointing out shape-shifting for a long time, especially in politics, especially in some of these people that hold the public office. But have a look at these clips that even Fox has come out and said straight up that, you know, the so-called president is acting kind of creepy.
About why I only paid that much is because I'm smart. You know how to game the system. Well, guess what, Mr. President? I'm coming for you. 120 days. Give me a break. Need time. The $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare. Just remind them, I wrote the bill on the environment. Why would I not be for it? Pay them more. This is an employees bargaining chip now.
Now, it's sad that a lot of churchgoers might not recognize what's going on here, but in some of those actual fringe groups that actually deal in deliverance, that actually deal with demonic entities, will know right away that this is a manifestation coming through. And if you actually look at his eyes at this very moment, you'll see that they're not human eyes. Those are serpent eyes with the vertical slit. And this is the spirit that's coming through and tempting humanity at this time. So don't fall for it. If you're part of that woke crowd, realize there's a true awakening. Realize that there's a true awareness that we have in source and not in our own egos. Because it might look good at first, but the moment you eat of that fruit, the moment you do this, you're stepping down a level into that state of duality. And you realize, what have I done? This isn't all it's cracked up to be. Because, you know, after they ate, it says the eyes of them both were open and they knew that they were naked. The first thing that they realized is just how helpless they were. And already in the spirit, I can hear the footsteps of Yahweh walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and he's coming and he's conversating, and Yahweh is bringing the harvest. And right now, the serpent is running scared because he knows that he's about to get caught. And when he is caught, he's going to have his legs removed from under him. And he's not going to be able to stand. He's not going to be able to run. He's just going to have to slither and cower in the presence of divine source, of his divine justice. This whole game isn't just going away. Nobody that's guilty is going to be able to get away with what they've done. But here's the twist. When Yahweh called out to Adam and said, "Where are you?" he literally was saying, "Confess to me what you've done." And instead of confessing, Adam says, "I heard your voice in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself." And Yahweh says, "Who told you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree?" And instead of saying, "Yes, I'm sorry, take me back, restore me to my original state," he says, "Oh, it was the woman that did this." And they all just keep passing the blame instead of owning up. But when divine justice comes in our time, if you're on this bandwagon, don't be caught and pass the blame saying, "Oh, it was just the politicians, or it was just the media, I was just doing what I was told." Don't be afraid to humble yourself before Source and say, "I was wrong. Just take me back, restore my soul to its original state." Because Source will be just with the blessing. But if you deny things and you run in the other direction, then Yahweh is also just in harvest with the curse. So choose life. Choose to eat of the tree of life, and don't choose to eat from this fake wokeness, because they don't even have your best interest at heart. And they use their words very subtly. It's like it says, the serpent was the most subtle of all the beasts of the field. And that's exactly how this media and politicians are talking. They always dress up the story to look really good, but then when you bite that fruit, you realize that you have the blood of the innocent on your hands. So choose the right side of history. Choose to be on the leading edge of what's really moving forward into the restoration of that state in the Garden of Eden, where all things are perfect. And don't find yourself headed in the other direction, moving a step further into this realm of duality, in this fake wokeness where you too can open your eyes and your egos can become as Elohims. That's not where it's at. It's in finding a harmony of Elohim working through you and in you. And in that state, you can actually embody that pure awareness. So I love you guys. I'll check you in the next reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape, Salaam, Namaste. Shalom. You shall not surely die. For God does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be